Need to bring in a little extra cash? It might be easier than you think. Whether you're looking to boost your monthly income on the regular or you're looking to make some quick cash in order to reach a financial goal, side hustles are a great way to make that happen. Now, we recently polled all of our family members. Turns out that as a family, we have 20 different side hustles that we have done. That's what we'll talk about in this video. Hopefully, you'll take some inspiration from our family side gigs. So grab a cup of coffee and let's chat side hustles.
If you don't know us, I'm Larry.
I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where every week we bring you videos on practical frugality.
Let's get right into it. Side gig number 1, freelance writing, editing, or transcription services. One of our daughters-in-law did transcription services. She said she did make money doing it. She could have done a lot more of it, but here was her caution about transcription services. They generally pay you per minute of audio or video that's transcribed. And she said by the time she figured out what she was making per hour, it was about $5 an hour. Now, you need to also take into consideration that the more you do it, the faster you're going to become in order to do the transcription or the writing or the editing. You want a place to do that online, you can look at Fiverr, Fivver, or Upwork, also a really popular website.
Voiceovers is another task that Hope would do because that's what she did for a living.
I did voiceovers for really large companies, Pioneer Hybrid International, Country Companies Insurance, Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. And that was a little bit because of my professional background. I worked in radio for a long time. But there are also ways that you can apply to be voiceover artists for things like animated videos. And once again, Upwork is one of the places that you can look for that work. I did make good money, but it's very sporadic. And you could be competing with hundreds of other people who are also looking to break into this sort of business, I guess you would say, and get the same gigs that you're trying for.
You can participate in online surveys.
Swagbucks, probably one of the most popular ones. You are not going to get rich with Swagbucks.
No.
It's pretty easy to do. My only caution would be if you're going to do something like Swagbucks, set a timer on your watch or your phone and only spend a certain amount of time a day doing it, because you can get sucked down into the rabbit hole and spend a whole lot more time clarifying whether you're even eligible for surveys or not. And that's the other thing I would say was I would spend a lot of time filling out information that they wanted, only to have them say, oh, I'm sorry, you're not qualified, because they are looking for specific demographics. And you've spent 30 minutes kind of pre-qualifying to find out, nope, you're not qualified.
Most of these are items that Hope has taken care of up to this point. So we'll give one more to her, and that's cash in points or earn cash back on apps like Fetch, Receipt Hog, Honey, or Rakuten.
I love apps like this because they don't take a lot of my time. I can enter the same receipt on multiple formats. You know, Receipt Hog, I can enter the same receipts that I'm entering for Fetch. Receipt Hog is a little more specific in what they will apply to your account so you can earn points. Honestly, it just doesn't take that much time. The downside, once again, you're not going to get rich with these. But what we generally do is we save up our points for a period of time on Fetch, and then we cash it in when it gets toward the last quarter of the year. We use it all for Christmas gifts, so we have a specific purpose for it. So it does help of kind of take the edge off those Christmas expenses. And because we have a specific reason that we're saving our points, I don't know, to me it does make it kind of a little bit more fun to enter your points. Now, when it comes to apps like Honey or Rakuten, those apps are going to look for discount coupons for you at checkout, and you're going to earn cash back. Never assume that Honey and Rakuten are going to be allowing the same amount of cash back, the same percentage with the same vendor, because I found that it varies.
It changes.
So make sure you're checking with both Rakuten and Honey. If I had to tell you my favorite, definitely Rakuten. I love Rakuten. We'll leave links for both of them in the video description, though.
Of course, you can help save money and help your budget by doing doing side hustles. But there's another way that you can do it by simply cutting down your expenses.
If you're looking at your expenses and thinking, I just don't know where to cut, I don't know how to begin, get our free guide to reducing your expenses. I'll make sure that there's a link in the video description once again. Now, Larry gets his chance to talk about some of his side hustles.
And before I do, if you're enjoying this video and it's speaking to you, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not one of our members, subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our frugal family. One of the keys to doing side hustles is to take something that you enjoy doing that you can make some money from. A skill, something that you just like doing on the side. Everybody has something that somebody else is willing to pay for. Well, the one that I do, this is one that I've done a lot of, is selling items online. And for the most part, I've used Marketplace. I started out with eBay and didn't do too well on it. But Marketplace is kind of nice because it doesn't cost anything to list your item. So you're not out anything if it doesn't sell. And in order to do Marketplace really well, we've done a video on this as well. And there's a lot of different things you can do. Two main things are make sure that you have a really good description of your item and make sure you take really good images of it. If people have the information, they're liable to go ahead and contact you about wanting your product.
Now, one of the things that Larry has done that's a little bit creative is not only has he sold a lot of our items, he has also sold other people's items. He's done this several different times. So basically what he does is he says, I will take the photos, I will clean it up, I will list it, I'll take care of like answering people's questions about your item, I'll meet them somewhere, I will sell it for you in return for a base commission rate.
Right.
Just make sure that your friends and family understand that you are going to take some of the profits, or they're going to owe you some of those profits once you get it sold. But a lot of people they just don't want to mess with it. They want to get it out of their house, but they don't want to mess with it. They're willing to pay you to take care of that for them.
Babysitting is another way you can make a little bit of money and help out with your budget. And babysitting requires that you enjoy working with children. And it means that you have to be potentially trustworthy. They have to know that you're going to care for their children and be good with them while they're away.
I would say that if you are going to do babysitting as a side gig, you want to make sure that you get testimonials from the people that you babysat for.
Right.
Because that's one of the questions parents are going to ask, is there someone I can call before I leave my kids with you that's going to, say that you do a great job, you have so much fun with the kids. And so you want some reliable people that they can call and give you a good reference when it comes to babysitting. But yeah, it can be kind of fun to do, and hanging out with a lot of young kids. What's not to like?
Speaking of fun to do, and I don't know why we haven't done more of this, but pet sitting is another really important talent that you can put to use and make some money at. There's a lot of people who go on vacations, they can't take their dog. They don't want to leave their animal with a dog boarding place. They would rather have somebody that personally knows the animal and will take very good care of it. The only problem with me watching somebody's dog is that I would want to keep it. Another one, of course, is dog walking. That's a real popular one for people that have dogs and maybe they can't get out and exercise them, and they'll actually pay somebody to come over and walk their animal. I think that would be just awesome. Another way to make some money is to start a blog or even start a YouTube channel. Do we know anybody that started a YouTube channel?
Great idea. All right, here's the thing you need to know about starting a YouTube channel. It is low and slow. I mean, it takes a long time, and it does take a substantial amount of effort. The 2 videos that we do every week on this channel, we spend somewhere between 25 and 30 hours a week doing researching, writing, recording, editing, putting it up, promoting it. There's a lot of work that goes into YouTube, but yes, you can make some extra coin, especially when you become monetized on the channel. This next one is something that 2 of our sons have done during college, offering tutoring services. This is something that if you have a passion about a particular subject, you know a lot about it. In fact, we have paid for tutors for our sons. When they got into upper level math, we had a friend whose son loved math. He was a year ahead of our son. And I'm like, look, I will pay you whatever the going rate is. If when he gets stuck, I can call you and you will come over and you will unstick him. And it was worth every penny that we paid. So it can be something kind of informal that they can call you when their child needs a little bit of extra help, or something more formal where you are tutoring them maybe 2 or 3 different times during the week. The downside is people can sign up for tutoring services and then not show up, and then you've wasted your time and you haven't made any money. So just be aware of that.
Another great way to make a little bit of money is to house sit. And that requires you to actually go to that house and spend time in it while the owners are on vacation. They might be overseas on a vacation, maybe for a longer period of time. And if you have the time and you can devote to doing this, it is a great way to make money. Usually you have to water some plants, maybe take care of some pets like fish or something like that you'll have to feed. There's usually something that needs to be attended to. But it's nice for the owners to know there's somebody they can trust that's living in their house, so that their house, there's a car parked in the driveway, and people that are in the neighborhood will even think, oh, there's people home there.
Yep.
So it's a very secure way to keep your house while you're on vacation.
And for the record, Larry and I have not house sat, but our daughter-in-law did this one. Here's something that I have done: participate in market research groups. Now, a lot of this, thanks to the internet, is all done online. It's done via Zoom. The companies will say, hey, we need a focus group for 1 hour. Here's what we're going to pay each participant. Now, here's the advantages and the disadvantages. The advantage is you generally know upfront exactly how much money you're going to make from being a part of that focus group. Disadvantage is the time allotted for the focus group can go over the allotted time if you're a busy person, you have other things to do, like really putting that 1 hour in and expecting you're going to be out within 1 hour. That can be a little bit problematic. The other problem can be that when you sign up for the focus group, once they dig a little deeper and find out like what your life experience is and things like that, you can be disqualified once you've already set aside time in your schedule and you've made the effort to set aside time to do the focus group. They can say, I'm sorry, but you're just not you're not what we're looking for in this focus group. How much money can you make per focus group? It can be as little as, say, $25 if it's a quick in and out thing, or it could be something that ranges upwards of maybe a couple $100. But if you're going to be paid a couple $100, it's going to take a whole lot more of your time than that $25 gig.
Selling homemade or handmade goods is another way to make money. And our daughter-in-law likes to do this as well. And once again, she has an Etsy shop. She makes homemade baskets, and they are really pretty and very attractive. And a lot of people enjoy her products. So she does okay doing that.
They're made out of recycled plastic bags. She also does some crocheting. She has a permanent booth in a local mall.
Yes, she does.
And then she also still has her Etsy shop. Guys, this is where we get to brag on Delaney. We'll make sure there's a link to her shop in the description of the video.
House cleaning or yard work is another way to make a little bit of money. Now, one of our sons worked with somebody that I used to work with. He actually drove by and saw him mowing our lawn, and he stopped and asked, hey, can John mow my lawn? I would love to hire him. And not only did John mow his lawn, it was within walking distance. He provided the lawnmower and the gas. So all John had to do was walk over to his house, get that lawnmower out, and mow his lawn every couple of weeks or so. And it was a really good side job.
Now, our 2 oldest sons have also done yard work for neighbors. They've mowed lawns, they've raked leaves, they've done all that kind of thing. This is a great opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I think, you know what? I think this would be a fun family activity.
Yeah.
You go over, you take your kids with you, and you do yard work for others who simply can't do their own yard work anymore, or they choose not to. Here's the next one. This is something that we do. You can sell printables or digital products. Yes, we have an under the median shop, and some of you probably did not know that. A lot of the forms and the outlines and the information that we provide for you on videos, the worksheets, those are available in our shop.
How about that?
Once again, guys, I know I've said this a bunch of times in this video, but I'll leave a link.
One thing that I did, because frankly I was kind of gifted in this area, was I did audio and video transfers for people. So they had something on an older format. I was able to upgrade it on a format that they were currently used to using. For instance, they might have had some reel-to-reel tapes or cassette tapes that they wanted on CDs. So I would take their collection of tapes and transfer those. It doesn't take a lot of real fancy equipment to do this. It's not real expensive, and it's a really nice service for other people. The other thing that I did, of course, was video transfers. So I might have had something on 8mm film that I was able to transfer over to either VHS or then later DVD. And once again, it was a way for people to enjoy those memories in a way that they couldn't. Maybe their projector was broke. They didn't have the equipment anymore to run it, and here they are with a way to view all their precious family memories. Any kind of repair service that you can do. I used to repair people's old TVs, but our son could repair computers because he was an IT specialist. He learned how to do some real basic things with computers. And so many times somebody we know would call him and say, hey, can you send your son over and have him look at my computer? It's doing this and this and this. And he became very good. You actually can make some pretty good money doing that kind of a job.
He even did that as a side gig when he was still in high school.
Yes.
And now he works full time in IT, and he still offers his services freelance to those who need a little bit of help.
If you're pretty good at taking pictures, there's a lot of demand for somebody that can be the photographer in a group, like a family gathering, a reunion, something very special that the people themselves don't want to be doing photography. They want to be enjoying the company where they're at. And if you can take a good camera and make sure that you can make plenty of duplicates of what you're doing, that is another good way to make money. I photographed weddings, I photographed anniversaries, all kinds of things, and made a little bit of extra money. And it's just wonderful, the gift of that for somebody else and how much they enjoy it.
2 of our grown children offer professional photography services. Our daughter-in-law, Hannah, is
She's
a professional
good.
photographer.
She's really good, yeah.
Videography for events. That's another that sort of goes hand in hand with that photography idea. And once again, Larry has done this professionally. Several of our children have done this professionally. The pro is that once you have the equipment, you can work with that equipment for a while before you have to upgrade. The con is the fact that so many people now have an iPhone and they're just going to take photos and they're going to take videos with their iPhone rather than hire somebody to do it professionally.
A research assistant can make quite a bit of money, and Hope has had some experience doing this.
When I was in college, there was a lady who was getting her PhD, and she approached me and said, I need some help gathering like statistics and things like that. I just don't have the time to do it myself. Could I hire you? And I think she paid me like $10 an hour. Wow. And that was 40 years ago.
A lot of money back then.
And so she paid me to do some of her research for her.
Nice.
And it was, I really enjoyed it. Now listen, if you have a specialty and you know a lot about one particular subject matter, I would suggest that you start poking around at local colleges and make sure that you have your resume, make sure that people know that you understand your subject matter, and see if you can't get some gigs doing some research assistant work. Now, this has been our family story of side gigs, but we want you to build your own side gig story. If some of the ideas we've given you spark creativity in you, we're so excited. But if you need some more ideas, we polled our audience and we asked them to send in their side gigs and what they do to earn a little bit of extra coin. We did a video on it. It's right over there. 40 more ideas, guys. Go check it out.
If you don't notice, Hope is looking down. This is not good.
I was. I'm so sorry.